Carolyn, by the way.
No. There's
Hardly anything to do that.
It's like a thing. All right, we've started.
Yes,
That's
we're rolling up, recording. Welcome, podcasters, to another episode of Dunn and Dunner, the podcast, with your host, Tom.
And I'm Carolyn.
And today we have a special episode for you on this Saturday. Another bonus episode for you, but we have some special guests in the house tonight. And what we're going to do today, you guys are
like Saturday. What do you mean Saturday? This is Tuesday.
This is Tuesday, but when you listen to this, it's going to be out on Saturday.
And then they're going to take it down on Sunday.
Yeah,
It's a one day only.
Guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
One day
Not be up
only.
for long.
We're going to delete it immediately.
There's going
Well,
to be
that's
a lot
why
of copyright issues with this one.
That's why we had we have the parental advisory for all the language and everything.
Nice.
So,
We got the E.
so you can.
Ooh.
I don't think they care about you saying
He
poop.
called this shit poop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, so today's episode, I'm going to try to wrangle it in as we go throughout this, Carolyn, to no avail. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about craft beer. And my buddies here, Rhett and Brett. Don't get the two confused.
Say hello. Say hello, Rhett and Brett.
Hi.
Hello, Rhett and Brett.
Hello. Hi. Hi. How are you?
It's good. I'm good. It's well.
It's well.
You too.
Happy Saturday, you guys.
You too.
It would be a lot nicer if it was Saturday.
It would be.
Yes.
Well, it technically is.
It would make
It is
tomorrow's
my Saturday.
It would make tomorrow's hangover a lot better.
When you
Make
get
it
up
a lot
at
more
7:30 to go to work.
I get up at 6.
Ugh,
Ugh.
gross.
Yeah. 6:05 actually.
6:05.
6:05
Yeah.
Eastern Standard.
Do you snooze once?
No. I
You
set my
don't
alarm to the last
3.
possible
Gotta snooze
moment
3
I
times.
can get up and do everything I need to do.
I think when I was working, it was 3. Also, I just had to.
It's a good 3.
No, I can't
2
snooze.
to 3.
Well, Christy would probably murder you if you snooze, too.
No, well, she snoozes and I murder her.
Is that why she's not here tonight?
Yeah.
She's dead at home.
Special surprise when you guys listen to this on Saturday.
Rhett
We'll
has
be
been
all over
arrested
the news.
for murder. Sorry, Christy.
I hope
So-
you're not actually dead.
Nothing's really off limits on the podcast, so we just steer away from politics and religion. So, and Carolyn
I go
still
straight for it.
she does the jugular.
Bless your heart.
Fucking go.
I know.
Bless you.
So Brett and Rhett, they are beer connoisseurs. If there could be an entry level sommelier, I would say they would both have it. As
It's called a Cicerone.
Cicerone, is that what it is?
Yeah.
See? Do
Can
you
you
have your Cicerone?
No, I could get it. It's like the first level is it's like a serving level, and then you get, I think there's like 4 levels. The first one's a serving level, and it's easy. You can do it online, and then the next one you have to go actually take the test.
What's the web? Where do you go for the web
I
page?
think it's cicerone.org.
Okay. I'll type it in the Google machine while we're talking.
I think.
Into the Google machines. Oh, Trishna's home.
You can just Google for Cicerone.
Yeah,
And it'll probably give
it
you...
should come up.
She doesn't talk when our podcast is recording.
She gets nervous?
refuses to be on it.
She's probably smart.
Yeah.
She is pretty smart, though.
So as you can already tell, they are very well knowledgeable about
You're
beer.
very well knowledgeable, guys.
Very well knowledgeable.
Well-
when I'm the only one talking.
Well, let's kind of dive in. So we're gonna taste some beers tonight. They're gonna taste me on some beers, and I'm probably.
And I'm just going to smell them. So yes, it is
How much am I?
Cicerone.org. Cicerone.org. For those of you who want to go and get your certification
Or learn more about beer.
or learn more about beer.
Yeah, I think they have
Yeah.
some like books you can read and training materials too. Pretty cool.
Yes.
I thought about doing it, but then I really didn't have a good reason to spend the money because it's like $65. But if you want to get into it, then it's cool.
I could find a certified beer server, certified Cicerone, advanced Cicerone, or master
Yeah.
Cicerone.
The master, there's only like 6 people in the world.
You have to be able to taste like extremely nuanced things in beer. Like they'll intentionally spoil beer so that you can. So when you take your test, you have to be able to say this was spoiled in this manner by this thing.
They do the same thing
Taste
with
the
the wine
off-flavor.
tasting.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Because when I
very
was
similar, right?
still working at the Melting Pot, if I was going to stay in manager, I would have gotten my entry-level sommelier.
Yeah.
sommelier.
Okay, so Carolyn poured us some tea.
I
I
tea
think it's
mean
actually urine.
I peed in a couple cups for you guys. I wanted you to.
At
So we
least
need to
you
know
chilled
how
it.
much
What
asparagus
did
you
I
had.
eat today?
So-
What have I eaten the past
So
hour?
we'll be trying some craft beers, and Carolyn picked up her home craft beer today at Quick Trip. Hence why we were a few minutes late. So Carolyn,
Can
do
you
we want
guys?
to taste this?
I mean,
Yeah, let's taste it. What do you guys
It's-
think it is?
it's either PBR or Miller Lite.
I mean, well, which is it?
I think it's Miller Lite.
Or did I drink PBR and then pee into it?
Miller Lite.
Dunner light?
I'm gonna go Miller Lite.
Can you taste the metal shavings in it?
No, but that'll be a nice bonus.
I don't think it's PBR, but I think it is one of the big three.
I don't think it's watery enough to be Coors Light.
It's not.
Cheers.
I'll give you a hint. It's not the big three.
Is that not part of the big three? I don't know.
Bud Light's the #1 selling beer.
Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors
Oh, yeah,
Light
it's
are the big
not.
three.
It's not.
Budweiser dropped out of the. I was reading some
Is it?
stuff today. Budweiser
The
dropped out of
champagne
the top 5.
Ooh, it might be the champagne of beers.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's probably area. I think it's probably High Life.
You'll be wrong because it's PBR. That's why I asked if
I
you
thought
tasted
PBR had a
it.
little more bite to it.
I think
Maybe
it's
it's old.
the fact that
It could be
I'm
old.
not used to drinking PBR out of a glass serving vessel.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
are
usually
drinking
it's out
straight
of
out of
a
can.
can that has been kicked around and dented.
Yeah, and it's usually
I mean, I shook it
Stupid
before I
cold.
opened it.
makes sense.
So what's your? So while
Go
we're
ahead,
going to
let's
open
open that.
open one, you know, so if you guys are out somewhere like a party or everything, and they don't have any craft beer, what's your go-to usually?
If they don't have craft beer,
If you're going to drink
Cocktail.
beer,
Cocktails.
Making a
They
noise,
go
and that's-
cocktails.
yeah.
Kind of sad. If they don't have, I'll drink shitty beer. I've got no problem drinking shitty beer.
Well, no, yeah. What are you saying? What's my favorite? Shitty
so
beer?
what's your? You know what you
Yeah.
go to. Most people have like the
If you have the option.
Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller
of
Light,
the big three,
Yingling maybe
I go Bud
sometimes.
Light.
Mhm.
That's my go.
I like Miller Lite as far as the big three.
Now, why? Why do you guys
I did a
choose
blind
those?
tasting once, and it was my favorite of the three, and so that's what I've always gone by.
Is it?
I think I like Bud Light because it's what we drank. So we drank Busch Light in college, and Bud Light's a little bit better than Busch Light. So it's just what we got used to drinking.
That means drink.
Let's drink.
What am I
Carolyn's gonna
drinking
get
for?
drunk on the podcast.
Wait, why am I drinking?
Because you burped.
Oh, is that
That's
why
the
you're-
international sign for good burp.
Oh, thanks. Was that actually a good burp? Or
No.
like-
No.
Well, then
But-
why the fuck do it?
Because you're gonna do it
It's-
naturally.
Okay, so you've set the bar for burps.
Man, I had a good one when we got here.
So it's the
and
lowest
it's
burp.
just gone now.
So we have to go with it as a good burp, but it only gets gooder from there.
Good or
That's
Once
So-
again, we make up our own words here on the
So
podcast.
this
Clip
is
it.
actually motor oil for Brett's mustache.
It's actually motor oil with a little bit of gasoline added. So
and chocolate.
they claim that it's 13.9% alcohol.
So,
It's probably 15.
so what's the name of this beer?
Lordy. Lordy, I hope there's tapes.
So this is Scofflaw Absentium with cocoa added.
And what
Okay.
you said
So
it's 13.9%.
They say it's 13.9%. It's a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. And so with this one, they added cocoa. They've got a bunch of different variants that they've done. So they've done a vanilla, obviously a regular barrel aged vanilla. They did a coffee. They did a coconut.
They did a honey.
They did a honey, which was weird.
I
And
feel
then
like
they
the
did
honey would be
the
the
cocoa.
least abrasive out of all of them.
I didn't get to try that one, but I heard it was really sweet.
It was so. It's already a sweet beer
Okay.
because it's
Right.
so rich and boozy that adding honey just made it so much sweeter. You could barely drink it.
This is just interesting.
It's gonna go downhill from here for her.
Well, let me just say, so I mean, I like stouts more than like IPAs or anything. Making so much noise. But it's not my favorite. It's just
Yeah.
as a I'm gonna get the cocoa for sure.
Do you think that you would like it if you drank it a lot?
Maybe.
It's like getting used to it.
Well, like I'll drink the rest of this glass while we talk about it. But like,
That's why you got the baby glass.
thank God, because I don't think I could drink a glass.
Well,
like
think
you
about
guys
us.
are
We've
doing.
got to drink this and then drink the next 5 years.
Well, I've also had 2 margaritas to start.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
If you think we didn't have pregame beers, you're sorely mistaken.
I know.
We walked in with seltzer water.
Sorry.
Fool you.
Seltzer waters.
Yeah,
No.
'cause we, but
No, it's I mean, you get that chocolate finish. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty rich beer, but it's just not for me.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is on the more extreme end.
Yeah,
of
this
beer.
is definitely an
Yeah.
extreme.
Right. I mean, by the time you're getting to an imperial stout that's over 10%, it's pretty extreme.
It has all the flavors.
what flavors do you get from it, Carolyn?
All of them.
So you get the chocolate, obviously,
Yeah.
from the cocoa.
And
Do
then
you
the-
get any? Do you need any oak or bourbon?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Are you
Mhm.
choking?
No, just yeah. I definitely get that like barrel aged sort of thing going on right there, but
Yeah, it's a big one.
it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot happening in my mouth right now. That sounded terrible.
So this is a local beer here in Atlanta. Scofflaw's been open for how long now?
A little over a year, about
A year and a half, I
maybe a
think.
year and a half by now.
Yeah.
It's luckily right down the street from my house, so I'm able to go pretty often.
You gonna drink
You know,
that?
popping in on my
Always
way
a
from-
safe way.
popping
Always
in
a
on my
safe
way
way.
home from work, which is great. Luckily, we've been able to go to a bunch of the anniversary parties and beer releases that they've done. Actually, for one of them, they've had a couple of beer releases and whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For one of them, we actually tailgated beforehand. It was
Jesus Christ.
We got there
it was,
8 a.m.
It was their first beer release. We got there 2.5 hours before they opened.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of tailgate grills. We had a bunch of tables set up, and
We had gristle.
we
Is
had
that what it's
Scrapple.
called? Scrapple.
I love Scrapple.
Yeah, it was disgusting looking. I did
No,
not try
it's
it.
disgusting looking, but
Because
it's so
I
good.
didn't
It's so
want to.
yummy. I love it.
But so we showed up. We had about 30 people with us to tailgate for this beer release, and proceeded to drink way too much. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Would you-
Are we gonna let Trishna try
yeah,
the beer?
Trisha's gonna try it.
Trishna is here, everyone.
You may not hear her.
You heard her cooking, though.
She loves it.
She likes it. See?
Her heart is warm.
Here, you want to finish that? Okay, great. Because I'm gonna drink my beer water and fart.
I don't have a game for that.
I don't either.
I think it's just a competition.
Anything can
That's
happen
true.
here.
Oh man.
So, Rhett, you kind of have a good friendship with the owner of Scofflaw now, don't you?
A
Like
little bit, yeah.
every time we went there, like he's all.
I think Brett and I, did you and I go the very first day they were open?
Yeah. We've actually, yeah, we think we went there literally the day they
I think it was a soft opening, and just have gone there ever since, and just always talk to him, and he's always nice, and yeah.
All right, so one to stay away from. Just kidding. Black Series, Cocoa Absenteeism.
Absentium.
If you remember that part, he introduced the beer and talked.
Scofilaws.
Scoflow.
Scoflow.
I will
Block
say that
series.
this is not my favorite of the Absentiums. It's
Yeah.
probably my least favorite of them. The vanilla is the best. Behind the vanilla, I think coffee is number 2, coconut's number 3, the regular is number 4, and this one is number 5. It's
This one's
probably
it's
my least
boozy.
favorite.
Yeah.
It's
Boozy.
It's certainly boozy. This is
You
probably,
sold me.
Well, it's still really good, right? It's still a very good beer, but this one probably sat in the barrels the longest, so I think it's got the most.
I can definitely tell.
It's got the most oaky, boozy flavor out of all of them to me.
I will not disagree with that.
So with this one, how long could you let it sit in your cover? before you have to open
By
it?
cover,
Could it age well?
he means.
5 years,
Well,
probably.
it does have an adjunct in it, right? So it's got the cocoa that they added to it. So you can age it. It'll be fine, but you're going to lose some of that cocoa flavor as it ages. So with a lot of the adjunct added barrel-aged beers, you don't really want to let them sit too long.
Chocolate tends to last a little longer than than
some of them.
coffee is the one that falls off.
Coffee
sometimes.
falls off really fast. Vanilla will fall off.
Was it the flavor or just it's
It's the same thing with wine.
It kind
It's
of
like
blends
the
in
fruit.
together.
so-
Got it.
It mellows out. Yeah.
Heard.
Word.
Word.
So Carolyn might
Your
appreciate
mother.
it in 2 years.
Yeah,
A little more than she does today. But,
probably. Because this
probably
came
wouldn't.
out, what, at the end of last year?
let's see, there's a
2017.
date on
Yeah.
it. 12/9/2017 is when this one was bottled.
So maybe a couple years
And
from
it's
now.
exactly 13.9%.
Exactly. On the dot.
I taste it
Georgia
exactly.
has a ABV law of 14, so
Nothing.
beers can't go above that and be distributed here or sold here.
So, can they technically lie and say that it's 13.9%?
Yes.
Or do they test it?
No.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if there was like a test that they could.
Yes, they can.
Yes.
They can come in and test you. The
Okay.
Department
So
of Revenue.
it's a very simple test to test the ABV of beer.
How many beers do you have before you get wasted? They just come
Okay,
in.
3. Okay, 3. We need you to calm down.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm gonna drink my water.
Miss Margarita.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they
Mrs.
test it?
Margarita? Sorry.
So you
I don't know what they use. An alcoholometer.
Oh my god! I have one of those. It's called my body. And that's what I get when I drink. Alcoholometer.
what's
You've
the
heard it here first, people.
use the promo code Dunn and Dunner 10 for 10% off.
It's true. I love it. It's the best.
So how did they get the name Scofflaw?
It means. It
someone
means like
who's the
Doesn't-
word actually the name actually spells it out.
To scoff
Somebody
at
who
the law.
scoffs at the law, right? So
Okay.
you don't take laws seriously,
I
and
definitely-
they're kind of excuse me, they're kind of rebellious, interesting fellas that run the brewery.
fellas.
Is this the one with the goats? As the mascot?
yes.
I saw 6 of the little
I
cars.
think I would like to give Trishna some.
They
more.
are at.
Go ahead. She liked it.
I didn't realize-
They're at
Or put
Wade's
in this
tonight.
Yeah.
Rinse
What
that.
the fuck?
No, it's
I
fine.
think I'm gonna give Trishna some of mine
That's
I'll
probably
because if we're gonna get into some other beers.
I'm happy about it.
Okay, we
Do
good
you
here?
guys
Yeah, I
want
just
the
rinsed it and
bacon
drank the
palate
water.
cleanser?
I'm good.
I'm
No,
good.
no.
We just ate.
Yeah, we just ate a ton of food
Ugh,
Our
so good.
pre-Valentine's. Even though we already did the Valentine's episode and it's live.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. When you when you hear Valentine's Day, pretend that we went and had
We
Alma
did.
tonight.
Yeah. Pretend today's Saturday.
Alma was delicious. Yep, a few days ago.
So while we're getting ready for the next beer that Brett will introduce here, so what do you guys think are, let's just say, according to Beer Advocate, I'm pulling up the top-rated beers. What do you think the number one beer is?
KBBS.
It's for Georgia.
In Georgia,
I mean, narrow it
Oh.
down to Georgia.
The number one beer is.
this is a kind of a big duh. I would have guessed it as well.
Is it Tropicalia?
It is Tropicalia. I don't know how the score is, everything, but it has a 4.39. It's actually tied with Cosmic Debris.
Which is another Creature Comforts beer.
Yes, and this
Okay.
they're
Is that
located
the
in
newer
Athens.
Is that the one that came out recently?
Yeah, they
Cosmic
had,
Debris comes out in the spring.
Yeah.
It's
So
a spring.
we'll be
It's
here
a double
like-
IPA that they release yearly. It's not super boozy,
Gross.
which is nice.
This is totally different than that one.
Is it?
Alright.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got here, man?
God, it smells like soy sauce.
That is a common flavor in barrel-aged stouts is soy sauce.
Well, that's what it
They don't
smells
add
like.
soy sauce.
They don't add soy sauce,
I
nor is
think-
it
I
aged
hope
in soy
that-
sauce barrels.
This is really salty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Now, here's the question. Why does it smell like soy sauce then?
So it's just a flavor that tends to develop from when a barrel aged beer, like an imperial stout, sits in a barrel for a while.
Heard.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what.
Oh.
Damn it!
No, she did it wrong.
I did this.
It's okay.
Because she is a loser.
I like it. So the game we're
It's
playing is it's a thing that came from this show called Three Sheets, which is a drinking show. And when somebody burps, you kind of make the
Cowabunga.
the cowabunga, or
yeah.
the Hawaiian
Yeah.
cool dude hand symbol, and you put it to your you put the thumb to your forehead, and the
I
last
know,
one to
right?
do it has to drink. It's something I've done for like 10 years now after watching
This
Three
is
Sheets.
actually
Isn't that the
first
same sign
episode.
like the Longhorns do?
No, it's this.
They do this.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
The rock
the
on.
hook 'em horn.
The Rock-Ons.
Hook 'em horns.
Or the Shockers.
That's something completely different. That's for the Valentine's
So I have a
Day
question.
episode.
So, yeah, go for your question.
What was everyone's first beer ever?
Ooh.
Mine was High Life. Mine was Miller High Life. A buddy of my roommate had it. I didn't start drinking until I was later. I was like 21 and a half. So my roommate had it, and I drank it. I had to hold my nose because it was gross.
Mhm.
Mine was actually, I drink liquor before I drink beer. I mean, we broke into my buddy's dad's cabinet and everything.
Degenerate.
Shut up, dogs! But I remember drinking tequila.
Tequila.
I had to think about it for a second.
I like Tecate still.
Tecate.
So
Tecate's good.
we definitely stole some beer from my dad's freezer, the fridge.
Freezer.
I like beer
I will
slushies.
say, sorry, the reason I said freezer is before we drank a couple of them, we put them in the freezer and watched them explode. That was
Yeah,
a
'cause
dumb
you-
idea.
Yeah, we
But-
didn't know.
But yeah, we didn't know. So it was MGD. No Genuine
Oh.
Draft.
You figured mine would be the
My
first
goddamn
Budweiser because my
Well-
dad was the Bud man.
So one of my dad's friends worked for the distributor for Miller here in Atlanta. So there was always Miller.
Right, we always had like cases of Bud Light or Bud in our house, and you would think I would go for that. Oh,
Tom, drink your water.
yeah.
I can't remember what my first one was.
So
I know-
It was so good
actually,
she blacked
this
out.
gets kind of interesting because the beer we're drinking is
So-
from Red Brick Brewing here in Atlanta.
Oh,
And
I
Red
have a
Brick
buddy
is
who
now the
works at
current-
Red Brick.
So Red Brick
Current
is
oldest.
the oldest brewery in Atlanta.
Still in production.
Yes.
I remember going there years ago when they first opened.
Yeah. So they used to be Atlanta
Brewing Company.
Company.
Yeah.
Your Atlanta beer.
ABC.
Atlanta beer.
Yeah. ABC.
ABC.
And they were never really known for making good beer.
Mm-hmm.
So
They made beer.
They made beer, and it was a really good hangout spot because you could
It was
It
really
was
could
on
go
the
there-
cul-de-sac. You
yeah,
could play
you
games.
Could, you
could
could go
sip
there
your
for
beer.
$10. You could
I
drink
know it was
10
like
beers.
it was either
and,
6 or 8.
and it was I think it was $6. You got 6 beers, and then you had $4 to get an extra beer because
They
you
didn't
could
do
just
that.
Tip and sorry.
They didn't do
No
that
one
at all.
ever did that.
No, you couldn't tip $1 and get a full beer after you used all of your
Why would you?
your tickets or whatever it was at the time.
No, but now Gavin McKenna, I believe is his name. I think it's his
Yeah,
last name.
sounds right.
He came from Wrecking Bar and has just completely turned their operation around and is making some of the best beer in Atlanta.
Well, my buddy Chris Morgan works over there.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, we
We
went
worked
there
at Lure
once.
together.
Remember?
Shout out to Chris Morgan. Hey,
No last
buddy.
names.
Oh no, it happened.
it's
It's a thing.
it's
Sorry.
already happened.
Sorry, Chris Morgan. Should I said it again?
But yeah, they're making some of the best beers in Atlanta. Every Thursday they have new stuff on tap that's
Yeah.
just blow your mind good.
And it's come to the point where we've been there
It's like we just go
every Thursday this year, I think, so far. So this is another bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. Right?
Careful,
This
you can
one
tell.
this one does not have any adjuncts in it, so this one you can sit on forever and it'll keep getting better and better.
What is an adjunct?
So
Because
cocoa
I adjunct to my butt all the time.
adjunct. ADJUNCT.
With it. CT
So-
junked.
Junct.
I just got junked, guys.
So to get technical, it's basically anything outside of what the Reinheitsgebot is.
Right.
I'm sorry. What? What? What?
The Reinheitsgebot?
Oh.
It's the
yeah.
Get this. It's the German purity law.
It's the German
Das
purity.
ist sehr gut, ja.
Are we surprised that the Germans have a purity law when it comes to beer?
9.
And the things that the German purity law require beer to only have are
Water.
yeast.
They're literally looking at each other. It's like a duet over here.
This is the best part of the podcast, like, because
And
you
love.
can't really see, I mean, you can't see us, but, you know, gesturing over, like, I do it to her when it's just us talking. I'm like, all right, I have nothing else to say right now. Help me out.
And there's love, too, sometimes.
Water
It
use
depends.
love.
Some breweries use love, some don't. That's how
if
you
it's
know.
the German way, there's 0 love in it.
Well, it's a
Just
different...
strict procedures.
It's love that's not legal here.
And we killed Carolyn.
And Carolyn
And
is...
Carolyn's dead. Carolyn's choking on her water.
So once again, this is Red Brick from Red Brick Brewing Company, Imperial Stout, Hype Whale.
Oh yeah, we should say what it was. It was hype.
Is that
it was
what?
hype
It's
whale.
hype whale, not hype whale.
Thank you.
Whale.
To enunciate.
And this one is 10%.
Yeah.
10%.
So it's like half
And I like the
brew
can. The
is
can
yellow.
actually is.
Is that a killer whale?
It's a solid can. They've basically changed everything, and they're making some incredible stuff.
Ah, killer.
Nice.
So
I
one
picked
of
the
the
wrong
other
time to
things-
quit drinking.
One of the other things,
You can smell it.
one of
I
the
did
other
smell
cool
it.
things
Yeah.
that they've
Smelled
done is they partnered with the Atlanta Aquarium,
Oh yeah, they did.
and they released a few beers that are specifically for the aquarium. And
Nice.
so they've got a sea otter stout. They've got a penguin pale ale and a
That one's
couple
really
of
good.
others
The penguin pale
that
is
are
really good.
that are specifically targeted at the aquarium. As we pass beers off to Trisha.
Trisha's taking a refuse.
Krishna, help!
Trisha, help us drink this beer. Your hair looks amazing, by the way. You're welcome. She's a real person, I swear.
So next question: what would everyone's favorite beer be?
What would everyone's favorite?
What's your favorite beer?
Oh, mine is
If you
definitely
had to say,
between Bud Light or PBR. Because I don't like beer.
You know what just drives me crazy?
Are you saying
is
like everyday
you
drinking?
you like food, you like trying new flavors, you like all this complicated
Yeah.
gastronomy stuff,
hmm
and you drink that piss.
I would rather drink nice whiskey.
Yeah, so she'll
Well,
get the. You'll
and
mention.
yes.
which I
that's
get.
respectable.
She'll get a PPR and a
Cocktails.
whiskey.
So
With one
shut
cube of
up,
ice.
Brett.
No, I do. I get it, but I guess for me, my whiskey palate has grown with my beer palate. So
I mean, I can totally see that. I don't know. It's just.
I mean, you could totally see it on the counter at his house too.
I don't have any whiskey in my house.
Said Brett never.
Get out of here.
No, I don't know what it is about beer for me. It's just not something that I like.
Probably just you
seek out
probably
and drink.
haven't had it enough.
Well,
Like,
well,
and-
it's so funny. I used to drink a lot of beer, and I think actually what turned
But were
me
you
off.
sticking to like one beer?
No, I was trying a lot because it was when I was in culinary school. So
Oh.
of course I was like trying all different stuff, and I was totally 21 at the time. Totally. Damn it!
So do
Just
all
like,
these?
no.
Do all these cans and bottles? Do they have the certified Brewers Association certified independent craft?
If they're independent, most of them do have that now.
So does that mean? So what if they're getting like Eagle Rocks up here distributes craft beer? So would that make them not certified?
No, they can still be independent craft brewers. Basically, that means that they don't have a certain percentage ownership from a major brewer.
Okay.
I think that's 100% not.
Is it 100%?
I think it's 100% independent. That's a new
I know
thing that started
there's
last year. By
There's
the
a
Brewers
couple of
Association.
different measures around that. I think there's one that's as long as you're 51% not owned, you can use some certain term. I can't
So
remember.
just like the quick note here on this is in 2017, the Brewers Association launched a seal to help designate beers made by independently owned breweries.
Yeah. And so a lot of breweries have put that on cans, just so that way when you're in stores and if you're looking for independent stuff.
If you're trying to support the mom and pop beer.
Right. And not... Well, because a lot of times, like Anheuser-Busch has bought a lot of craft breweries, and people don't realize it, and so, this is the way for them to differentiate themselves.
I was actually involved in the process where I wasn't too involved, but he was telling me when my stepfather runs distribution for Eagle Brands down in Florida, and he was up here to try to get Sweetwater. And he was telling me all the back and forth process and how they thought they were going to sell like 10,000 cases, whereas once they leave the state and the local area they're at, it's really going to be 2,000-3,000. They thought they'd just blow up. So they wanted someone who would be realistic with their goals. So, but he just showed me how it all fell apart.
So one thing that's happened recently in the past 2 years with beer is beer's become very hyper local, because there's every city now basically has at least one craft brewery that's making really, really good stuff.
Well,
and so people want to support that.
And part of that is the number of craft breweries that have come up.
Well, and definitely is something that I've noticed, like working in restaurants. Definitely, excuse me. People definitely come in from out of town and they want something local. They want to try something else different. Because I definitely appreciate beer and the way it is, and what it's all about. And people like to try different things, and there's definitely a lot of different flavors out there. And
you can notice that with restaurants too. Restaurants, people used to they want the beer that they know, so they can always get a Bud Light wherever they go. Restaurants like Applebee's and TGI Fridays are dying right now because people don't want that. They want to try new food and want to
and it's
different experiences.
It's so funny because we sell the only more generic beer that we have in the restaurant is Stella. So any European coming over who just wants a lager, they have Stella. That's the one beer.
Sure.
But we don't have Bud Light or anything like that. We have a bunch of craft beers. Anything in cans is what we're doing at this point.
But I think it's all part of people go to towns, they want to try the local restaurants, local beers. Every time the three of us have gone out of town, we always talk about how, when I was in Florida, I went to one of the breweries down there, and I was there a day and a half. So it's part of it's a good social experience too. So
it's something to visit that if a town is not, doesn't have a lot of touristy stuff or something you really want to see, it's
when I went to Bentonville.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, this next beer, the three of us got to, and some other people. Who cares about those other people?
Other bottles.
Got to drink when we were at a friend's bachelor party in Asheville.
Oh.
Wait.
I don't remember any of that.
That's a common theme of that bachelor party, actually.
You guys are
So while he's pouring this and everything, so what do you... Well, one, to answer your question, to go back, I want to be a good host. I would say Tropicalia, Creature Comforts Tropicalia is my favorite beer. I just grown accustomed to it. It's a great drinking IPA, great flavors, it's smooth, it doesn't have a big bite to it. And anyone who drinks IPAs, I think, or who doesn't, could enjoy it as well. So, in 1980, how many craft breweries do you think there were?
1980?
None.
I would say, I'm going to guess 70.
8.
Ooh!
In 1980.
And Carolyn, what does this one taste like?
Coffee! I drop also.
So, in 1980, there's 8 breweries outside of the big beers.
And they are, I can name 2. Anchor, Sierra Nevada.
Anchor, Sierra Nevada was
Boston Brewing Company, Sam Adams.
Oh, that counts, yeah. Yingling is probably still considered
Yingling.
one.
Yingling.
It was.
I think
I'm tapped out.
I don't. It doesn't tell me the 8. It told me those.
Yeah.
So in 1994, how many breweries do you think there were?
closer to 100.
Yeah.
Oh,
I might go back to my
50.
guess of
No, you're
70.
going too low. Too low.
Oh.
So it went from 1980 to 8. That had 8. 1994, there's 537. How many do you think there is today in 2018?
7,000.
10,000.
Over 6,000.
So we're both could be right.
Yes. But you also
I'm right.
that's official.
Based on that.
That's official breweries. You think of every Tom, Dick, and Harry doing making beer in
Homebrewing
there.
is a big thing too, right? And both Rhett and I have done a good bit of homebrewing in the past.
I got that present where I got the make your own beer kit that you just buy generic from.
It comes in a plastic
yeah,
thing.
it
comes with like soda bottles. I think it's called a Mr. Beer Kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did this thing.
Got dry yeast.
And the
It's
beer
not very
ate
good.
through the plastic because I was doing all the instructions. I come home after work. Well, this is when I was teaching. And I come home and there's beer all over. Before I was dating her, it was right after Christmas, and there's just beer everywhere. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, it just ate through the nozzle. I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't try that shit.
I made one of those, and yeah, it doesn't turn out good. The ingredients aren't good. I mean, it's like anything. Like if you're gonna cook a mediocre meal, you're gonna use mediocre ingredients.
But just
if you're
think
gonna
about
make
how
a great
much
meal, you're gonna use great ingredients.
whoever came up with that
I can make an
idea for
amazing
the
meal out of
gift, just
anything.
Well, that's also true. When you're skilled at something.
so that you just got to think about it. That guy came up with the idea and just made up all this generic money. So what we got here, Brett?
This is from Burial out of Asheville, and it is the Skillet Donut Stout.
Ooh,
I like donuts.
And Carolyn's first reaction to it is
Coffee.
tastes
Yeah,
like coffee.
it's a ton of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Like no, I haven't even tasted it yet. It just smells like coffee.
There's a ton of coffee in it.
love the
Oh,
coffee.
is this the one where
Where they
he flipped the
serve-
table?
Yes.
Yes. You got to tell the story so that people understand.
So our friend Drew, which I'm sure he'll be
Pissed.
upset that he's not here for this, or maybe he just won't care. We went to
She'll
Asheville
be on the
first.
future one.
Let's be real. Nobody's listening.
Yeah. Hey,
Fuck you.
I know. So,
Hi, Tom's dad.
yep.
Hi, Carolyn's mom.
You guys suck.
Hey, but
So we
I
went
love
to
you,
Asheville for our buddy Drew's bachelor party, and Drew and I have been in the restaurant business, and we've known each other for, I probably would say almost 10 years now, but we always talk about flipping the table at a bar, flipping the table, and we were
It
actually...
was one of his life goals.
It was the thing he had to do. Like, before he died, his bucket list was to flip a table. So we're outside at this place. We've been already to like 5 breweries, and there's a table. And I
think
just
it was
go...
a plastic table.
No, it was like one of those... It was almost like
A light
balsa
wood?
wood.
It was
Okay.
a tiny little picnic table, like outdoor picnic.
Like,
table.
you could pick it up with one hand over your head. But I said to Drew, I'm like, now's your chance to flip this goddamn table. And he just, like, revved back. He, like, was wound up, and he was ready. And, like, I think we took, like, 2 videos of him flipping the
It
same
was
table.
great.
But he threw that
He loved
table
it.
was
And
so
it had
forward.
stuff on it. I think the goal was for it to have stuff on it, too.
Had to have things on it.
That was
So
fun.
we helped. That was probably one of the best things we helped him achieve on that bachelor
And
party.
The other hilarious thing about this beer is at the brewery, they serve it with a donut hole on a stick.
Ooh.
And we had been
Trish, now your
Drinking.
favorite donuts.
drinking for several
I love
hours at
donuts.
this point, and a friend of ours was a little hungry and realized that he would get a donut hole
If he
every
got a
time he
beer.
drank beer. So he drank a lot of beer real quick
So he could have snacks.
and
God.
ended
That's
up
crazy.
falling off of a fence a few hours later and getting lost.
Oh, this is Pablo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pablo. Yeah, he was our entertainment that weekend
That
for sure.
sounds like my brother's story that he told me from when he went to Poland. They all went out drinking one night, and his buddy was so drunk that he couldn't get into one of the bars they went to. So he's like, "It's fine, I'll just go back to the hotel." Goes back to the hotel, or somehow gets back to the hotel. Wakes up the next morning in a pool of blood in his bed.
This isn't my favorite murder.
No, he somehow, he still doesn't know how it happened, ripped his scrotum. So he ripped his ball, and he was out late to getting to the bus, and he finally came out and he was really pale. I was like, "Do you guys have a first aid kit?" And they went back inside. It took a while. Yeah, he ended up having to go to the hospital and get stitches, but he still doesn't know how it happened.
I tell you what, this burial beer can. I love the
The
art
we were
on
talking
there.
about that earlier.
The art is super cool, and they've got 2 different scenes on every can. So.
Oh, this
that
was the
one.
place where we saw the Tom Selleck portrait.
Yes.
I'll find it.
I
So-
love that. Could be a tattoo. I mean, I think that would be a great
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
So my wife and I went to this brewery right after they opened. Somebody had
Sorry,
recommended
ladies,
it
he's
to us.
taken.
Yes.
'Cause
And
Mom.
we
oh, fuck.
Carolyn lost the burp game. We went there and they were brand new, and there was like one guy sitting at the bar, and it was a Saturday night. And if you go there now, a Saturday night at Burial is like an insane madhouse. There's 400 or 500 people, maybe. But there was one guy at the bar, and we sat there, and I had this donut stout, and I was like, "This is right now the best beer in Asheville." I thought it was, anyways. But
I still think they're
it's-
making the best beer in Asheville.
yeah, they definitely are making some of the best beer in Asheville, and yeah, I always stop by there whenever I go. I think they're opening a second location now too.
Well, they need to because they're currently very space limited on how much they can grow. The spot that they're brewing is really tiny.
Really?
So
Is it
it'll-
really tiny?
Way to kill the conversation, Carolyn.
Yo,
Asheville's a great place to go. There are a ton of breweries there.
Me and my ladies were there just a couple
What
weeks
brewery did you
ago.
go to?
How many breweries did you go to?
One. Yeah,
Brett,
but we
do you have
went.
the count on how many we went to for Drew's?
So,
No.
did
I
you
was-
guys go to the Pinball Museum?
Yes, we did.
Did you guys
We played
go
NBA
to
Jams.
the bookstore that you can get wine and cheese at?
Yes.
Was that a question?
So another funny story. Going back to, I've never told you guys this story. Going back to Drew's bachelor party, wanting to flip a table. When my wife and I got engaged, as a little kid, I had always wanted to get pied in the face from watching Nickelodeon shows. And so my best friend Kurt and his wife, and then we had just gotten engaged, so my then fiance was there, and they sent Kurt
He's only
and I
had
off-
one fiance, Chris.
Yeah. They sent Kurt and I off to go to drink at a bar or something. They were gonna go run an errand, and so we're walking down the street, and they had planned this to where I'd walk around a corner, and Kate, my best friend's wife, was gonna pie me in the face. Well, I got scared because I saw somebody running at me, and I ducked, and it like went flying in the street. And so then I realized what was going on, so I just had to stand there while I got pied in the face.
That's awesome.
But like,
though.
it was with like this organic Asheville whipped cream, so it was melting in the sun.
Ugh.
It was like kind of gross, but it was still a great moment.
I mean, if that's something that you always wanted,
I did. It was
just
such a
makes-
weird. It was such a weird
That's
desire
amazing.
to want to get pied in the face. Because I watched like What Would You Do and you know
Yeah.
what was it? What's it? Double Dare and stuff. They'd
Yeah.
always get pied in the face
Yeah.
on Nickelodeon. I always wanted that.
I
was such a
love
weird
that.
little
That's
kid, but-
awesome. That's
yeah.
amazing that they did that for you.
It was.
These are all really
I'm not
major.
drinking, so.
Drink your
I
water,
think that was
Tom.
me then.
Nice.
I have a whole list of things that I've wanted to do in my life.
We were talking about that today.
I'm gonna do that for my 40th birthday.
Your whole list?
Yeah.
Get pied in the face.
No, but I'm gonna do an entire list of like small little things that I've wanted to do throughout my
Yeah,
life.
that's a cool thing. Is like you can do the small little thing.
But I
Make
think
it
No,
happen.
but it's like it's things.
What's like? Name
Like
one. Name one.
knocking a tray of glasses over, knocking a glass out of
That's-
someone's hand, throwing a drink in someone's face, slapping someone with a fish.
Is this all things
Pulling a
that are
pocket.
restaurant related?
Yes, I guess. Well, I've been working at a restaurant for so
I
long.
feel like she could
But
get
you know-
all of this out of her system
In one day.
about 45
One
minutes.
45 minutes. Her last
so.
day.
You'd have to put on the invitation. So come
Where
beware.
you are ready to be
Beware.
ruined.
She will be fired this day.
No, I don't want to do it at work. I like.
She wants to
wanna
do it
go
like at a
somewhere
party.
and,
So
like,
her
go
40th
somewhere.
birthday party,
So
you
I'm gonna
invite
walk
everyone.
in. I'm not timing it or anything. I'm gonna do all the things that I want to do, especially tear the pockets off someone's button-up shirt. Not those, like a dress shirt, just like fucking.
I'm glad I changed before I came
Yeah.
over here.
It's so weird, but those are all the restaurant urges that I've had to do to someone.
On the back of the invite, you have to, so these are the stipulations. If you come here and be aware that this could happen to you at the
Don't
party.
get pissed. You've been warned. It's always been a dream of mine. I always wanted to hit someone with a cast iron skillet, but I feel like that's not something that I'll ever do because I feel like I
That's
get
called
like
murder.
well, it's called at least assault.
At least self-defense.
Only
Oh, I like where your head's at.
I'm gonna sleep
I
in the other
don't.
room tonight.
I'm just gonna come at Tom. Ah! That'd be
Yeah, so the
amazing.
only way you can do that is be part of a movie or be a professional wrestler.
That's true.
It's like when Stone
it wouldn't
Cold
be a
hit-
proper.
You
cast
remember?
iron
You
skill.
remember when Stone Cold hit McMahon with the bedpan?
Was it a real bedpan?
Yes, it was.
Ow.
I don't know.
It was.
I
That's
don't know.
what they said.
Bedpans.
I always default to Tom when it comes to wrestling knowledge.
Yeah.
So if he said it was a real bedpan,
It was a
bedpan.
real goddamn
Anything-
bedpan.
anything
I
like
cannot
pre-
refute.
Pre-99, you could go to me too. Pre-1999.
1999.
No, yeah.
I love it.
But anyway, we'll talk about professional wrestling another time. So
I could be in on that
yeah.
one. But
So-
only pre-99.
So what was?
That'll be
So
cool.
here's a question for everyone while we're enjoying our beer. What was the number one top selling craft brand in the United States last year?
Last year, craft brand, was it Boston Beer Company?
No, it's the beer. It's what was the number one craft selling beer?
Tropicalia.
Probably Yingling. I would say Yingling.
It was not Tropicalia. Tropicalia doesn't get sold
Yingling,
outside of
Yingling
Georgia.
falls under
I don't
the
know, it's
domestic
life.
brand.
Does it? It's independent still. It's not a-
I guess Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
or Boston Lager.
Yes,
Blue
yeah.
Moon from Molson Coors.
It's
Not craft.
The beer advisor said the top selling craft brand.
Who do you think owns Beer Advisor?
That's very true. So
Budweiser.
There we
So-
go.
in a very controversial thing, Anheuser-Busch bought Beer Advocate.
No,
Oh, Molson Coors bought.
Miller Coors bought RateBeer.com.
Oh, that's the one.
I did not hear rate beer at first. It's like rate beer. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Great beer.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's not in the gutter.
Jesus.
That's just what I heard. I'm deaf, also.
So overall, domestic beer brands Bud Light, Coors, Miller were down last year, down 2.9%. That's almost $400 million. The number one selling beer though still is Bud Light.
Yeah, I see that.
Craft dollar, but a huge way that these companies are offsetting their loss is buying
Crap breweries.
distributing craft beers and buying them. So imports, craft, and domestic super premiums increased 8.4% to $6.5 billion. So that helped offset it. Craft dollar sales increased by 5.6% to more than $4 billion last year.
Well, how do you guys feel about big beer companies buying out craft beers? Do you think it changes the flavor? Have you tasted any craft beers that have been bought out?
Yes.
And what's your thought?
Is there a difference
Go ahead.
in the brewing?
In some instances, yes. So some of them tend to let the brewery just run as is.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them tend to really take more control.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes there's a really good beer that you want to try, but the brewery can't make enough
Right.
because they're so small to distribute it anywhere outside of maybe their direct local area.
Mm-hmm.
So when some of those get bought up, for example, one of the beers we're going to drink later, that Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, you used to not really be able to get outside of Illinois, or if you could, it was.
I bought it in Vegas once. In 2009, I bought it in Vegas.
But it was not readily available
Right.
most
Outside
of
of
the time.
Chicago. Yeah.
They got bought by Anheuser-Busch, and their capacity increased, tremendously to the
Yeah.
point where now you can actually go and buy it here in Georgia. You can buy it
Almost every state that
almost
allows.
every state that you can buy that much ABV.
And is it still good?
I would say the Bourbon County is. I would say any of the newer beers they're making, any newer recipes, you can tell there's some limitations on what they're doing, I feel like.
I think so too.
Nice. That was a good one. Solid. beer opening.
Dorks.
Oh, nice. Do it right.
One of the podcasts I listen
guys
to,
are
like,
really-
they always crack a beer at the beginning.
What podcast is that?
Something to wrestle
Oh.
with Bruce Richard.
You're such a dork.
What?
You gotta enjoy what you gotta enjoy.
I mean, I hear it.
Hey, I got a free time. I can listen to a 3-hour podcast if I want to.
Didn't say I'm not a dork.
I listen to podcasts
Just
all
said
day.
you're a dork.
I was really hoping because it looked like a Hefeweizen, and then I smelled
It's
it,
not
and
a
it's an IPA. It makes me sad.
I'm good.
It makes me so sad, Tom.
We'll let
Do you wanna
Tom look
talk
at the
about
can
it?
first.
It was pretty. That's all that matters. Don't even, I knew you were gonna
So
say
the
something.
story behind this brewery. This
Is this how? I'm sorry. Is this how they bottle or can all their beers? It has this or just this specific one?
just that one.
But do all their other beers, like, do they have writing on them?
They have a
Yes.
name.
It's usually that font.
Well, I mean, like it says, I always felt closer to IPAs.
That is
That's the name of the beer.
What?
Yeah. So read it out for everyone.
All right, so this is from Evil Twin Brewing. I didn't know Brett hosted his own podcast and telling me what to do.
Hey-o!
Somebody has to. And Carolyn's not doing
So
her job.
Evil Twin
I know, I'm
Brewing.
staying silent.
Always felt closer to IPAs than I did to people, and that's the name of the beer. It is 1 pint double dry hopped Indian Pale Ale.
So the thing about this brewery, it's the brother of McKellar Brewing. I don't know where they got their background. They're Norwegian? No, they're not Norwegian.
Danish?
Danish? I think they're Danish. Anyways, they gypsy brew out of different breweries around the country, around the world actually.
Gypsy brew? Is this
Gypsy
just like
brewing
taking
meaning it's
samples
kind of like contract brewing. So they'll go to a brewery and have a brewery brew their beer and produce their beer and package their beer and put it under this name. So this one is actually made in New York, but we have another beer from them. If we get to it, we get to it. But it's made in South Carolina.
Charleston.
In Charleston.
Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, it's made at Westbrook Brewing. And but usually the IPAs tend to come out of New York.
Yep.
The stouts usually come out of South Carolina, and some of the funkier stuff
So
usually
they
comes
just-
out of Belgium. I think is where they're doing a
Is
lot of
that
stuff in
right?
Belgium. But yeah, I love their IPAs have been really really good, really really nice.
So, Carolyn, what do you think?
I think it's actually delicious.
Yeah, I dropped the coaster for the sound effect.
All right, the podcast is over.
Yeah, podcast is
So
over.
stay tuned
This
to
is what we've
Wednesday's
all-
episode.
Carolyn likes a beer. There's more in there. You
Yeah.
get to drink more then.
No, you know what? I think I like it. I know it says it's. Hold on, let me get my glasses.
What flavors
on.
are you getting from it?
No, I'm
Yes.
getting more of like a
Use your
sour
words.
front, and it's a little bit lighter. It's not
Sour, okay.
like it's.
Is it more juice?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's not. Is it? It shouldn't really be sour, but it's
Well,
got
it's
a
it's
fruity.
definitely- Yeah, so you get that fruity front. It got a lot of like pineapple and stuff in it.
Yeah. The hops used in this are usually used in very juicy, citrusy.
I enjoy this one. Golf clap, everybody! Yay!
Yeah, their IPAs are fantastic. I always,
No, it's-
whenever I see them, I try to pick them up.
Excuse me, I'm
Wow.
moving
Wow.
on, guys.
We're
You're
on.
welcome,
We're
everybody.
live here.
I know it. Never live. Let me get it.
Yeah, I always try to pick their stuff up. It's always solid. It's what's considered the New England style IPA, which is a hazy, almost kind of looks like mimosas, sort of.
Unfiltered.
This one, they're unfiltered, and they're usually juicy. They usually just taste like you're biting into fresh pineapple, papaya, citrus fruits. Yeah, I love them.
No, I actually really like it. Sorry, I had to get up for a moment and have just a good night and get glasses so I could read things.
Nerd.
Yeah, I need to get new glasses.
So, Rhett, I know we just talked about, but what was the first
Anchor.
anchor?
I'm looking at your phone.
No, you suck.
You didn't
I'm
even
gonna
ask.
hide
I'm
it.
trying to have content in between down.
Um,
You
Okay.
just said what was the first.
You know, I have a thought about me enjoying this beer over the others. I have a thought. I went from 2 beers that I did not enjoy to something that's slightly palatable.
Oh.
But no, I think I get like it's not like
Oh, okay. You thought the coffee one was slightly palatable,
yeah,
and then this one you think.
and
is
then
good.
this one
Yeah.
it's like it's getting lighter, which is like getting easier for me to drink.
I like it.
Get ready.
I know,
Next
right?
one's not light again.
Is it
God damn it!
the other Evil Twin one?
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll stick with Evil Twin
Why?
and cycle over to Westbrook Brewing out of Mount Pleasant,
Taking
South
a little
Carolina.
trip,
A little
Oh.
cruise. A little
Trip.
booze cruise.
little booth cruise, little booth cruise.
Ridiculous.
So we did have a game, but it's not even working out.
No.
What game?
We had a prepared game.
What is
Every-
your prepared game?
Every time Tom said whatnot, we were gonna cheers and drink.
Oh,
It was gonna be a drinking game.
Tom
But
hasn't
you
even
know
said
what?
the word.
He hasn't said it
He
at
hasn't
all.
said it at all.
Well, I mean,
Well,
really
it's probably because he's not rambling as much as his other shows.
That's 'cause we
Y'all are rambling. and he's
that's
trying
the best
to
part of
wrangle.
having guests on. Like, I'll ask you questions and you respond for a while,
That's true.
and then I can think of other questions and statements I want to say. And
There you go. That's the whole secret behind whatnot.
Well, I think I'm gonna still just go ahead and make it an official drinking game on the Dunn and Dunner podcast.
When he says
You
Or-
drink.
when he says whatnot.
When he
just
says whatnot,
cheers.
you cheers and drink with your buddy.
Oh, I
whatnot.
like it.
There you go. Said it's going to be, if we ever get popular enough to have shirts and sell them, that's going to be my first shirt.
My mom will wear my shirt. I like this one.
There's a little bit left in the can. You might want to drink this one while you like it before we.
Yeah, they still have some.
Well, just pour it in this one so I can get my little taste of shitty beer that I'm not going to apparently like. Hold on, let me rinse my glass out.
This next one actually is pretty interesting.
While we open it, what was
Were none of them interesting?
this next one's real interesting.
When I listen
That's
back,
wrong.
when I listen back to this,
Roll
I wonder
of
if Brett used interesting to describe everyone these beers so far.
What was everyone's
Maybe.
first brewery that you visited?
Red Brick, which is so
Really?
funny. Yeah.
Believe it or not, it'd be Red Brick.
Yeah. What was
Mine was
yours?
Sweetwater.
Mine was Sweetwater.
I went to Sweetwater, and I was probably 2000.
This is before they even had the
7 or
extension
8,
to it.
I think.
When
Oh,
we
yeah.
went for
And
the
I went, and I
holiday
didn't
party?
know. I thought it was just.
Yeah.
At that point, I thought it was just like a bar. And I got it. They closed at 7:30. I got there at 7, and had time to drink a half a beer because I didn't know the rules.
You didn't
I remember just
know.
going, and I don't know who I was with. I was probably with Drew, or maybe you were there. And I had to, like, so what? I get tickets, and then I just go up there. You had to explain the whole thing. I mean, it was easy, but
It was silly too at the same time.
yeah, it's just like, I only get a sixth of a pint of beer. I get to keep the glass.
And in case you're not from Georgia and you're listening to this, which is probably doubtful.
Actually, we have listeners in New York, Minnesota.
And Canada.
Woo! Shout
Hey,
out
Canada.
to Minnesota.
Thank you, Paul, for listening.
Well, Georgia
Canadian.
used to have very archaic, still does somewhat, but very archaic laws when it came to breweries. You couldn't go to a brewery and buy a beer. You couldn't buy a beer to drink on site. You couldn't buy a beer to take home. So actually last year, Georgia passed a law which basically turned breweries into bars. So you can go into a brewery, you can buy a pint of their beer, and you can even buy their beer to take home from the brewery now, which is a really great bonus from where Georgia beer laws
Well, it's
And
all the
yet we
politics
still
and money.
can't drink
It's
beer
all about,
before
like-
12:30 on Sundays.
That's
can't
I think
drink anything.
hasn't it changed? I think
No.
So
I think the brunch law is like
Nope.
they're
You
trying
can't
to
buy an
pass it.
alcohol. Yeah.
And they're trying, actually, I think one way that they're trying to pass it is to move it to 11:30. And then,
Who fucking cares?
yeah, who cares?
What's the
It's
difference from the rest
like,
of the days of
I'm
the week?
sorry.
but
Yeah.
so that's what you can do in Georgia now. Before last year, what you would do is you would show up to a brewery for a brew tour.
Is it like a bro tour?
Similar, there's lots of bros.
Oh, got it.
Lots
Depending
of
on where
bros.
you go.
The brew tour was you showing up to a brewery. You'd pay between $8 and $12 for a glass, just an empty pint glass, and then 6 tickets or bottle caps or
So they would put in the glass.
that they would put in the glass. And what that entitled you to was a 6-ounce pour per ticket or token or whatnot.
Now you know where it comes from.
Wait, can I be part of this cheers?
I don't have any
Cheers,
beer yet.
Oh, well, hurry.
Well, the best part of going to breweries and everything is like
Just
trying to find that
socializing.
person who, socializing. But I think a lot of us are just like, who's pouring the best?
Oh yeah, you find somebody
It was a game.
because you wanted a half ounce more.
It was absolutely a game of. It was absolutely a game of who gave you the best pour, and we would constantly.
And you think like when you would tip them the dollar, oh man, that looked terrible.
No,
I'm
it's
so
just-
glad I'm not drinking this.
All right, I'm gonna read the name of this beer, and then
That smells like.
and then explain what's in it. It is an Evil Twin Westbrook Brewing collab. The name of this beer is Maple Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Mexican Biscotti Cake Break. It is it's a stout brewed with coffee, cinnamon, almonds, cocoa nibs, vanilla, and habanero peppers added and aged in maple bourbon barrels. Product of the United States of fucking America. 10.5% by volume. Go team.
Boom.
Smells like soy sauce.
So, Granny, what are your tasting notes over there? I see you wrote down some tasting notes.
I was just gonna start pointing to flavors that I
Soy
tasted.
sauce.
Coffee, fruit,
Soy-ish
hop,
sauce.
gross.
It's actually kind of funny. So this beer is sort of an amalgamation of a few different beers.
I'm sorry, what?
And everyone who doesn't know what that means,
A blend?
this is an NPR.
A blend?
Get a goddamn dictionary, people.
It means like mixing.
They
Yeah,
banned dictionaries from a school, an elementary school.
We make up our own words here,
that's
like
because you kept
In the
looking up
America-
penis.
in the Americas because
It's 'cause
it
you
has
kept
bad
looking up
words in
penis.
it.
Like what? Poop.
Well, they just call it. The joke was on NPR was now it's just called a shenary. I know, it's so good.
That was an NPR joke?
Yes, it was so
Oh.
amazing. You gotta
Pretty
love.
good.
Wait, don't tell me.
I love it. I love
So,
NPR.
This
Stop
beer
trying to
is a
define
collab
that.
between Evil
Yeah.
Twin and Westbrook. So Evil Twin has a beer that they call the Imperial Biscotti Break. And
It's like it's supposed to be a take on like the biscotti cookies.
yeah, so it's supposed to taste like
A lot of vanilla.
like a biscotti cookie. Westbrook has a beer called Mexican Cake, which is a stout. It's got some cocoa, it's got some cinnamon, and it's got some peppers in it, some habaneros.
Barf.
So it's got a weird spice that finishes out. So what they did is they basically blended the two of those together, and then stuck them in a barrel.
And maple bourbon barrel.
And so what they've done is they've done regular bourbon barrels. This is a maple bourbon barrel, which means they took a bourbon barrel,
Keep going.
emptied it out, they put maple syrup in it, let the maple syrup age, emptied that out,
and then put
and then put beer in there. Delicious.
this is quite nice.
Magical.
I was not a big fan of the regular Imperial
This is
Mexican
like-
biscotti break.
Just
This is
so,
really good.
it's just
Honestly,
so
if you
gross.
smell it, you can taste
I
it.
smelled it.
Like this, it
Everything you're talking about, I got.
And like the heat that you get down your
I
esophagus.
don't get a lot of heat. I get smooth.
get-
No, you
It's
get like
just
it's
a
down
hint.
on the back. It's just like
Oh, the heat from the
This
Beer's got
peppers?
some heat to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
it's not tip of your tongue. It's definitely in the back of your.
Yep.
Definitely in the back of your throat, but like oof, oof.
What was your favorite beer? We didn't go to your favorite beers. You never answered.
What the fuck?
I think I'd have to go Bourbon County.
Really?
Like-
It's up there for
Like
me.
a 2013 Bourbon County.
Yeah.
Is really
What did we get that first time, 2015, when I got them for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the vanilla out of those was my favorite.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the 2014.
Vanilla
Like,
Rye. Yeah.
You had a little hookup on the vanilla rye. which is
Yeah.
like
Thanks, Dad.
Bottles of that go for like $220 on the
Are you
secondary
fucking
market.
serious?
I think my sister's trying to sell one.
Well, she needs to sell it in the right place because she can get about $220.
Oh, that's what they were. They already went on like, because I went down there and like I thought you had a bottle of vanilla for me, and they're like, oh, we don't. Well, oh look, we have one. They completely forgot that she saved it for me, and they looked online to see how much they could sell it for. It's like, well, I'll sell it to you for $190. I'm like,
Your
no thanks.
sister?
Yep.
God damn.
Nicole.
That's
Nicole.
like cousin stuff.
She doesn't listen to this.
Shame on you, Nicole. You should be working out to us.
Yes.
We're really
That's not very
This
motivating.
is not very motivating. podcast.
Oh, we're just sitting around.
Do better. What are you doing?
You can't drink these beers anyway. You'll go right to.
Your thighs.
That's what I heard. That spice is like.
It's nice.
You think it's too much?
So what is
no,
okay?
it's there.
I was gonna say because I really just get a hint.
We just
It
got more
also
questions.
might be
I just
just
want to
like
ask everyone questions.
well, then keep going. Let's talk about
What
it.
is your favorite city to drink in?
Atlanta.
For like,
Atlanta?
Yeah.
are we talking about just the drink or just like for beers?
Well,
Just
or
like-
my thing is,
for craft beers or
No, just
just
skip.
a drink?
I'm just gonna say this one is just drink.
I have to
I
say.
mean, all my friends are here.
Good
All right,
answer. That's
so
a good answer.
I have a couple of answers. I have two. It's either here or Toronto because my family in Toronto is amazing to drink with, and they always come up with amazing shit to drink. And that wedding we went to for my cousin Mike and his lovely wife this summer. God damn it.
Wait, that means two.
God damn it.
I would say here, just because I met you guys and, you know.
Okay, someplace other than here.
Well, I lived in New York City for 3 years, and I would say
New York's an awesome place to drink.
going off all the bars in Bleecker Street in New York City was pretty awesome.
They stay open until 4 a.m.
Yeah, that is
on
nice.
Sundays.
You know what's the really shitty
They
part?
closed the wine and liquor stores on Sundays, though. But you can still
Heavens
you
to
can still
Betsy.
I know, but you can still buy a 40 at the local bodega, or you can buy a beer from the grocery store.
My experiences in New York was one time my brother and I went into the city to drink, and I stole his crutch because he was on crutches, and I ran away from him.
Did you
and
steal
he,
one?
Just a shitty
just one,
person.
and then he hopped after me and hit me with the other crutch and took me
As
out.
he should.
And I think everyone was looking at us like, "What the fuck?"
It's
are
New
they
York City.
doing?
They expect people to run away with things.
Yeah.
It's like a common thing. Oh, someone stole a purse. Da-da-da-da.
But the other shitty part about drinking in New York City is when you live outside the city, you have to take the Metro North, and your friends call you because the Metro North is done running for the night, and you have to drive into the city at 3 o'clock in the morning and try to find them. That was a really crappy part of
So-
my time.
I will say that if we're talking beer or we're talking cocktails, I've got two different cities.
Is
I assume
Charleston your
Chicago.
Cocktail city?
For
I
cocktails,
love
it's
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No,
I knew
the
you were gonna
cocktail
say
bars
that.
are off the chain.
Well,
I'd say cocktails in
I said that.
Miami.
Off the chain.
Miami. I've never been to Miami. Miami's not a city I'd ever
it's
want to go
also
to.
expensive.
Miami's a city that I have no interest in going to Miami.
Well, I lived there for a while.
Well,
But it's
a
always cool,
while
you get-
or like all
You get a
the
margarita
life?
on the beach, and you know, you
Well,
just.
so-
Hey, that's true.
so
It's just I'm not
The
a
thing I
clubby,
love about
don't know.
Chicago is it's not just a margarita on the beach, right? It's not.
But they do have a
It's-
beach.
Yes, they.
It's a beach.
They have
Don't
a
call
beach.
it a beach. It's a beach.
People lay out on it.
Absolutely.
For the 3 weeks a year, you can do that.
I love Chicago.
But
I
I love how that they're so adventurous with their cocktails and their food and everything like that. There's so many different places to eat and drink in Chicago that are just great. But when it comes to beer, I think Boston. I think Boston's just making some of the best beer.
They also
in the
want
US
to
right
live.
now.
Boston is making, I would say some of the best quality beer. I wouldn't say,
Drink
like they have a few breweries that are making some of the most amazing beer in the world.
That's a good point.
But they're not a heavy saturation of like a ton of breweries. There's a few amazing breweries there, but I would always go there because I love it.
What's the best area?
No, it's just a regular beer.
You like that
It's an IPA. What do you think the best area in the States is for beer?
I would have to go with a few. San Diego is probably one of them. San Diego has one of the highest saturations of breweries, and a lot of them are super solid.
Very good.
It has I think 120 breweries in San Diego County.
one. How many do we have here around Atlanta?
I think we have, I would say, 15 to 20.
More than that. There's probably 25 or 30.
Yeah, because when we went to Decatur that time, there was
Well,
all those on that
If
strip.
we're including brew pubs and
Brew
everything,
pubs, yeah.
there's probably 30.
I thought there might be a little bit more.
I mean, it's with the law changes.
Yeah, Atlanta's still a very much developing market on that.
Well, in so many ways, it's restaurants and beer. I think it's
Oh
still
yeah,
up and coming.
they're helping hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Atlanta's key market has been so locked into those big three for so long that it is a bit of a struggle to get past that.
Why is it so back-ass words for us to get these?
Bird?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll say whatever I want to
Well,
say and make up my own words. He said
And
gooder
whatnot.
and whatnot. If you would have let me keep rambling.
Wait, what the fuck, y'all? Leave me out.
But ever since I moved, I moved here in 2005, and this Sunday thing was a thing then.
It's so crazy.
And this is 13 years later now, and it's still a thing.
Well, think about it. When you moved here in 2005, you couldn't buy beer
on
or
Sunday,
liquor or anything on
and
Sunday.
I don't even think they passed that law until
I think it was
2010?
2010,
Oh,
2011.
I thought it was 2009, 2010.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
No,
feel
yeah,
like
because
I
it
don't
was.
feel like it's been that long.
Yeah,
it was-
I think
it was before I bought my house. So
Mm.
I knew it was right around the time I turned 30, so
But it's still not till
God damn
12:30.
you're old.
I am.
I know. I forgot how old I was last
And
summer.
I still don't have as much gray as the three of you.
But
Dude,
It's my job.
bullshit, all
and
right?
genetics. And I can't wait till my white hair comes in. I'm
Like
just waiting for that.
Jean Grey.
No,
Is that not the one with the white hair with the streak in the X-Men?
no, that's
Who's got the streak?
Rogue.
Rogue.
yes.
Thank you.
Nah, I'm not up on
You
that.
caught me off guard there. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Sounds like this is a different podcast.
Cut that.
Yeah. No, I'm hosting my podcast right now. You
Go
can go get it.
Go get it. Go get
You
it.
think we can't ramble for the 30 seconds?
Don't worry, I'll help him ramble.
Go get
I
a
got this.
So
Continue on and whatnot.
I think Chicago is one of my favorite places to drink.
Honestly, I think Chicago is one of my favorite places to drink.
I love
I think
Chicago. I
their
absolutely love Chicago.
their cocktail bars
they have some
and their
amazing
restaurants
breweries.
are great. So I think that's probably part of it. But yeah, overall, it's one of my favorite places to drink.
Yeah, I absolutely love Chicago. I think it's an amazing place. Where else?
I mean, my dad would move back there if he could live
I
there for
would
6
move
months a year.
I would move to Chicago.
Outside
If
of 6
Christy
months
would
a
go to
year-
Chicago, I'd move to Chicago. I love Chicago.
The weather's
The weather sucks, but I don't mind cold.
I would say
Yeah, I don't mind
Chicago
cold
would be
either.
the last place. Anywhere around the
I
Great
love
Lakes,
Chicago.
I don't want to. And I'm from Pennsylvania.
You're
Originally.
not from Pennsylvania. You were born there.
I had a birth certificate that says I was.
Birth certificate? My God, you got a birth
not even a
certificate
real
from
thing.
Pennsylvania?
you're ridiculous.
Yes.
I am ridiculous. It's fine. People love me anyways.
So yeah, we're going to New York over Memorial Day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to see Hamilton, and Chris will be mad if I don't say this.
Yeah.
And Mean Girls the musical.
Well, we've talked about this, and I'm kind of excited for you to go see this. I'm secretly jealous that I'm not going. Christy, what the fuck?
So I think we have one beer left.
Is it one beer? Or are there not more? No,
One
we
beer
have
to
two
roll
more.
on.
So
I'm
we're
still
gonna
drinking this one.
we're gonna do the so
So
I
we'll
need
open
a
up.
side glass.
So we'll open up the last one, and then
Oh,
we'll
here.
wrap up, and then you finish off the
here.
rest of that.
We can ramble for a little while after that, I guess.
Where's Trishna to drink this?
I know.
Krishna, help!
Trishna,
So
like literally, I took that last like swallow and it tasted like me drinking a chocolate bar with like a spicy chocolate bar. How about that? Ooh,
Ooh.
Sexy. So sexy.
So cool. Sexy.
So this beer is Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. It is a beer near and dear to my heart. The very first time I had this beer was in New York City in, I believe, 2007. I was at a bar called DBA, which stands for Drink Better Ale. Yeah, that's what it was called. And we had just been at a, and like I knew Goose Island because Goose Island is one of the breweries that got me into beer. And I saw that they had Bourbon County. I was like, well, I gotta have that. We had just gone to a wine bar, me and the girl I was dating at the time, and they had this, and I had it, and I was like, this is fucking incredible. And it was one of the best beers I had ever had at the time, and I didn't really like stouts then. But ever since then, I still love it to this day. Every year, it's one of my favorites. Can't get enough of it. It's incredible. It's like the standard.
It's the standard barrel-aged stout to the point where it comes out once a year. It gets released on Black Friday, and for the past 3 or 4 years, Rhett and I have gone around to the different liquor stores around Atlanta.
I know, I remember.
Heavily caffeinated.
Heavily caffeinated.
Heavily bundled, too.
Heavily bundled, heavily
cold.
caffeinated, and heavily Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit.
Yes, always with a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit.
And
wait, do you like finagle with like, I'll give you this chicken biscuit?
No, what happens is I usually wake up at 6. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I like beer. So I usually wake up, I stop by Chick-fil-A, I get to Brett's, he's usually mad at me when I get there, he's like, ugh, it's early.
Once or twice I've been asleep.
When I got there.
But you mean every time? By once or twice, you mean every single
I'll
fucking
eat my
time?
chicken biscuit alone.
In the car.
He's like, you knock on the door, and he's like, oh shit, I forgot about this.
I'm full of turkey and stuffing. What do you want from me?
So, but then we'll bounce around from bottle shop to bottle shop and usually try to get as much of this as we can.
What time do the bottle shops usually open? Like, why do you have to wake up so
Tower in
fucking
Atlanta
early?
opens at 8.
It opens at 8.
8.
Oh,
yeah.
that's early.
Yeah.
So we usually try to get there about 30 minutes before they open.
Are people actually waiting outside for this?
This past year, we were probably 100th in line.
At what time?
At
7:30.
7:30.
Are you
time do they
fucking
open?
kidding
Also,
me?
They open at 8.
Also, partly because of whiskey.
Right. So usually there weren't like the past.
So you get the
past
best of
few
both
years,
worlds.
There's never really been that big of a line. Like
Right.
we'll be 20th in line,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I guess there was a huge bourbon deal that they were trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 100. So we were probably like 80th in line.
Mm-hmm.
There were 100 people behind us
Jesus.
by the time they opened, which was ridiculous. So you walk inside and they actually split you into 2 lines. One was a bourbon line, one was a beer line. There were 3 people in the
And
beer
were
line.
there
there were seriously 3 people in the beer line. So
prior to that, like it was all beer people.
yeah.
But whiskey is also, for another podcast, is like a huge thing, growing in popularity, and like people spending exorbitant
You're pretty close.
Exorbitant
amounts of money on whiskey, and people go crazy for it. Yeah, we were like one of the first people in the actual beer line. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, Carolyn, what do you think of this one?
This is one of my favorites. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, soy sauce. Soy sauce is a heavy Bourbon County.
But I'm kind of surprised that after some of those other ones that are really
I'm surprised you could
that flavor.
recognize different flavors at this point.
What are you talking
Damn it,
about?
Tom,
It's all
we're
soy.
experienced tasters.
Yeah, soy.
We are stunt drinkers. Hire us.
As my lovely Lady Guerra, John's wife, Kara, I am her stunt cock when it comes to drinking. I'm not even kidding.
Stunt cock.
Yeah.
What movie is that referencing?
Orgasmo?
None, actually.
No, it's referencing
It's
a
from
movie.
Orgasmo, isn't it?
Oh, well, that,
Oh, no.
but like,
It's
I'm
Orgasmo.
like in like
Yeah.
pornos and stuff, but like, when we went when me and my mom went up to Wisconsin one time to
My
watch
mother and I.
whatever. So
Mom and me.
Well, my mom and me went up to Wisconsin.
Me and my mom.
My mom and them.
So we went up.
It's okay. She's the fourth child.
Yeah,
She
it doesn't
stopped
matter.
caring.
She stopped caring. No, we went up to Wisconsin to watch I know. We watched my brother and sister-in-law do the half Birkie, which is a Birkebeiner, which is a cross-country skiing race.
Bless
and
you.
so, thank you.
Sound like you sneezed.
Birkebeiner.
Half Berkey by Gatekeeper.
But we stayed in her parents' house, which was really nice of them. And we were kind of like in her hometown, and we went out drinking after the Birkebeiner at her friend's house. Thank you. So it was me, Kara, and John, and like Kara had to stop drinking, so it's like, I'll do it. So I was their stunt cup for all the drinks she had to have, and I was like, I got this, because we were playing a drinking game, and I was like, I'll just do everything.
Is it who drinks the most wins? Or is it
Going for the high score.
I killed it that night.
Or is it
y'all.
drink the beer? I love drinking
No,
beer.
so it was like
You know what
it was
happens
like
when you finish your beer?
what?
You get another
No,
beer!
it was like everyone
And then
made,
another. And then
everyone
another.
like
That's how the
made
game
a
is.
shot, and like some were like alcoholic, some weren't, but like it's kind of like Russian roulette, not really Russian roulette, but like you pick your shot and you take it. And at one point, Kara couldn't drink anymore, so I had to take all of them for her.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the game. I was drunk.
What's everyone's favorite drinking game?
Ooh. Drinking?
I think it's got to be beer pong.
Yeah, beer
No,
pong.
I-
Although it's been
Flip cup's good too.
it's been a while since I played it.
Waterfalls.
Ooh.
No, dangerous.
But I like it better than beer pong because it takes no, like, athletic ability.
I once
It
played
takes memory.
beer pong with like with
I played it with tinfoil.
no
You crumple up tinfoil?
no.
That's
What's the drink with all the stuff in it?
Punch?
No, with all that you get at a bar. It's like
Oh,
18-year-olds drink it at bars when they have fake IDs.
Long Island.
Long
Ice-
Island's. I played
Yeah.
with Long Island's.
That's a fucking terrible
Yeah,
idea.
I was like 22 and a half.
Oh my god.
22 and 5 months.
At that point, I was drinking gin gimlets up.
Aren't you fancy?
Ain't you boozy?
I was boozy, and then I had like 5 in a night. No, I had 5 vodka tonics
Beer pong-
in an
beer
hour,
pong
and I
is fun,
barfed
I
my
guess.
brains out.
I enjoy beer pong with like a group of
I think that was
people.
the game that we
That's
played the
true.
most. That or like bullshit.
Bullshit. I like
Wait,
bullshit.
bullshit's a card game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
the
you
thing-
can play it to
But the
bullshit.
thing like bullshit though, you have to
do it.
you do all these things during the game, and you know,
Yeah.
obviously once you keep
So
drinking,
like waterfalls, because it's still a card game, right?
Sure.
Whatever, you guys suck. I'm gonna drink my soy sauce over here.
You better enjoy it.
So Bourbon County is from where again?
Chicago, Illinois, 60653. Remember that from
Scruff
McGrath?
Yes.
Oh,
I want to see if that's what it says.
No, it's not.
Oh my god, Scruff McGrath.
It doesn't have the thing.
Was
Well-
he the war on drugs?
No,
No,
he was
the
the crime dog.
Crime
Oh, he
dog,
was
yeah.
a crime
Scruff,
dog. You're right.
Scruff, Chicago, Illinois.
60652, right?
3?
2.
I like that you knew exactly what I was doing, though. You grew
so-
up in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this is, in 2017, the Bourbon County regular Bourbon County
gee.
Stout was 14.1% alcohol.
Oh, this
So-
is my first time trying this.
I'm sorry,
series.
what?
So the regular Bourbon County Stout was 14.1% alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
which meant that us unlucky folks here in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
were
Can't get
not able to get
Yeah,
it.
we can't
It
get it.
wasn't sold here. So
Stupid.
luckily, Tom
Tom.
hooked us up.
Tom
He
knows
was
a guy
able
who
to,
knows a guy who knows a guy.
He was able to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and was able
Oh,
to
so
bring
you,
us some some beer back from
Yeah,
from
we
Florida.
both have not had this.
So this is my first sip of this year's Bourbon County. It's good.
It's fantastic.
I have mine. They'll sit in my wine fridge until January 1st.
You guys want this?
I don't
Yes.
not want it.
Yes.
Put
They
it-
want
Put
it.
a little bit in mine. Put a little bit in breath.
But I'll say, like,
And
one of the
really
beers.
why I gave you that slap fight. So, Carolyn does have a side beer right now.
I do. I have the Slap Fight India Pale Ale from Monday Night Brewing. Fresh, dank, and juicy is what it says on the can. It also says, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of risk of birth defects.
Well,
you know what it also says?
Is that why one of your ears is longer
so
than the other?
Can I see? So one also funny thing I've noticed about the Surgeon General warnings is it says consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery.
Yeah.
So not both at the same
don't do
time.
both.
At the same
You get a choice between operating a car
or
operating machinery. So
Got it.
just be mindful of that when you're.
The other
true.
interesting thing about this beer is the first label that they released for it had a guy slapping another guy on it.
That's awesome.
And someone complained
Somebody
and had to
complained,
get it removed.
And they
Are
had
you
to change-
fucking kidding
Yeah.
me? It's a beer. Who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Ugh, people are dumb.
Yeah.
I hate people. I mean, I love people who listen
Speaking
to this
of,
podcast.
the next podcast should be about the movie PCU because
What's
Oh, it's
PCU?
great movie.
Oh, was it this one?
Oh my god!
Yes.
I love that more than what that is.
So,
It's terrible.
so the person's complaint is that it was a girl getting slapped, not a guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I can totally see that. If it was two men, I'd be.
But it's a guy with a tie.
Yeah, but he's also slapping a woman.
A guy
No.
with a tie.
He's got long hair.
Hold on, I got my glasses on. One second.
His man bun fell out.
His man bun fell out.
His hair's
Oh,
going-
it's totally a dude.
totally a dude.
So what is
We'll
that
post
one-
the original picture on Facebook, and you guys probably just wonder what the hell this is when we post it. But I'll try to post it on Saturday.
It is. It's a
Today,
dude.
Saturday.
when it comes out.
It's a dude today. I hate when you say that. It's Saturday. It's posted. No, that's totally a guy.
So do you guys like to pair beer with food?
You know what I've actually heard?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really pair beer with food. No.
Tom says we have
But-
3 hours left.
Perfect. No. So I hear that when you're doing like a cheese tasting, it's always better to taste with beer because of the effervescence. It kind of like cleanses your palate as
All the
opposed
things
to
she's
like
saying.
wine. Wine obviously has all of its flavors going on and it has a lot of depth and stuff. But when you're when you're eating cheese, you want it to kind of cleanse the palate between each cheese, so you want beer as opposed to wine, which I found interesting.
I do think that it's interesting.
I think it could go either way.
I don't
Do you?
really appreciate beer with food.
You don't?
No.
See,
I definitely do.
I've always enjoyed wine with food.
But that may be a
beer with
mental
food,
thing.
just
So, like, cocktails and wine to me pair much better with food. And I think it's because usually the flavors are stronger. So, with a cocktail, if you have something that's very floral or herbaceous or something like that, or very strong and sweet, it pairs better with food to me than a beer.
yeah, I can see that.
I can see that. But I think like a blue cheese with this beer. A blue
No,
cheese.
No.
no,
You don't think so?
no.
I think a blue cheese with that strong.
No,
Nope.
you want like a super rich cheddar.
fruity.
I don't think a cheddar would go well with this.
Like you want a super for blue cheese. I think you want something a little like sweeter, a little fruitier because it's gonna cut through that like stank of blue cheese. I mean, think about what you would pair with blue cheese.
For blue cheese, you would want
What wine
something
do you
with
pair
bread,
with blue
right?
cheese? Yeah, I guess I could see
I
that.
don't drink
yeah.
wine and blue cheese. That seems weird.
Well, what pair? What? Okay, well, no one knows. Probably
vodka.
Vodka.
You put blue cheese
Nothing.
in olive.
blue stuff.
You dump it in
Mis-
vodka.
Mr. Boston cheese shots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next podcast.
That one.
There you go. I think so, guys. I think if we do this again, we should do sour beers because Carolyn does enjoy sour beers.
I do.
Wait, you do?
Man, they don't be like
love
Tom.
sour
I didn't know you
beers.
did.
What the fuck?
There was a beer that I was going to buy today, but I didn't think anyone was going to like it. It's called Polyjuice Potion from Central Waters in Illinois.
It's called, first off,
Polyjuice Potion.
so it's a Harry Potter reference.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking sour beer and you didn't
I
drink
didn't
it?
think you liked
Oh
sour
my god,
beers.
you're fired.
I was going to buy it, but I didn't think anyone would drink it.
That's it. You're not invited on the show ever
It's
again.
going to be me.
Let me
I didn't buy it.
Oh my god.
I will still just buy it and give you some.
Okay, great. I'm going to pull out my last beer for you guys to taste.
Oh, there's one more?
We have one more. It's also another PBR. She bought 2 and wants to get through them.
It's the high life. It's the champagne of beers.
She wants to end on the high note.
I hope it's a Fody.
I asked her
That's
to
the only way to say it. I
I'm
hope
like,
it's a
what-
Fody.
I asked her, I'm like, what did you get? I thought she would get like Natty Ice or Ice House or Colt 45 or something like
Are you
that.
getting
And
that?
she said none of that was there.
Nice.
So the gas station was too nice. It was like,
Well, it's
your
Quick Trip.
corner.
Have you guys eaten it, Quick Trip? It's
You
great.
went to too nice of a gas station.
Yes, that's why.
You got to drive down to like Dunwell, Hollowell. and
The
then
Chevron that's broken down.
Take a turn or two, and then you can
Yeah.
find the stuff.
You gotta go to one of the gas stations that has the bathrooms on the outside. That you have to
I
have
need
the wooden stick
yeah,
with the
the
key
key.
on
Here
it.
you go, buddy. Here, grab that.
Oh,
Did you see that fitness commercial where they had the key
the
tied
bubbles
to
are
a...
nice. I'm gonna go with
Does have,
This Is High Life. This is High Life, I think. I'm pretty sure this is High Life.
As I make all the noise sitting down, I have to pee so bad with all this beer. Holy crap. What do you guys think?
It's either High Life or Miller Lite.
I think it's High Life.
You would be correct, sir. The champagne of beers. Cheers. Well, this has been fun.
This has been great. Cheers, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank our guests for coming on today, Brett and Brett. Brett, you guys have anything you want to say to the audience of 100?
Follow me on Instagram at FranklyMyBeer.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
And if you
I
do
like it.
follow Rhett on Instagram, he takes some great photos. I've actually used some of his photos for inspiration for some of my paintings. But he actually does a great job with that. He actually purchased his own light box to take some of those photos. And then, of course, he has all of his nice beach photos as well, water in the beer can. So,
I bring in the beach to my house. It's
well, you know,
expensive.
as you're on the
It's
go.
expensive. It's expensive bringing in the
So,
beach.
but
And his picture watches over Tom and Carolyn
It's true.
Podcast.
as they
podcast.
record every single podcast.
It's true.
I used
We're
to watch
like,
every-
What would Rhett do?
yes, I used to watch everyone as they came into the house,
Well,
but we knocked all the
This
photos
is
down.
way creepier.
It's true. It's way creepier. It is. My apologies, Rhett.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on today. I have a great
Thanks
show.
for having us.
No problem. And you're welcome.
Ah, one last one.
So, once again, podcasters, you can subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play. Please hit that subscribe button and leave us a 5-star rating or
And
whatever
then
rating.
share. Can you please share?
Yeah, share the podcast.
Sharing is
tell your
caring.
friends. Tell your
Yes.
Tell your
parents.
friends about it. Hide your kids,
Rhett
hide
and,
your wife.
I
tell
definitely
your
know
friends.
Rhett and Brett will be sharing the episode on their social media.
I'm going to
this
listen to
weekend.
it
Yeah.
first and make sure I'm not repeating
But you can also find us on Facebook and YouTube, Dunn and Dunner
Do it.
Podcast. We want to thank everyone because we're now well over 200 plays on
Yay!
our podcast, and we're only on to the 5th episode.
Thanks, Booskies.
So we appreciate all of our fans for partaking.
The dishwasher episode, I was literally unloading and loading the dishwasher. When I turned it on, I was like, why is this episode called the dishwasher? And there it was, and they told me what to do.
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
was-
So
You're
people
welcome.
do listen to the podcast.
It's
Brett.
informative. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Brett.
us.
You know, and
Those
whatnot.
200 views were Rhett going, oh man,
Wait,
messed up.
wait, how
Reset.
how do I
Oh, messed up.
again?
Reset.
Oh.
Remember about the drinking game when you listen to.
Yes.
This is what
Yeah,
happens
sure.
when you
Part
have
of
your
the fun.
bad friends
It's part of the fun.
on your podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
it makes it more fun. It makes it more fun. So, but once again, we want to thank everyone for listening. I hope everyone enjoyed the Valentine's Day episode. And we'll be back with another episode this Wednesday,
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad to enjoy
the
it.
21st. But once again, you're listening to Dunn and Dunner, the podcast. I'm Tom,
I'm Carolyn.
and we're done.
Yay! Bye. I just want to shout out to Christy. Thank you for letting me borrow your person.